not, you can download it off Canvas and still up there. And then in the, I'm just gonna write this. Hold on a second. Where is it? We're just gonna write the chat in the chat. Okay, you should all have the architectural floor plan downloaded from Canvas. Like we previously had. If not, you can go on Canvas, re-download it. Now I want you to start with the basic architectural template. Okay, don't open up the architectural file. One thing that we always want to make sure that we do is we never open up what the architect gives us directly. We always want to bring it into a file that we have created, just in case something moves or gets deleted. It's not our fault, right? It's just a linked model. There's no actual risk on our end. Okay. Okay, so architectural template. We're gonna come in here. Okay. Now, who remembers how to link in a file from another other file? You want to bring the architectural file into your file. Who remembers how to do that?
Insert.
Sorry.
Insert.
Insert. Insert tab.
Link Revit.
Insert link Revit. Yep. And we just go and track down our. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Now again, what we need to do is we need to clean, once this populates, we need to clean this floor plan up. And by cleaning it up, what do I mean when I say that? Because that will be in the instructions in a lot of your final, your midterm, other assignments. They'll say to clean up the floor plan. What do I mean by that? We did it on the scanning assignment. What do we do on the scanning assignment? Yep, turn off everything you're not going to be using, right? So really, we only need doors, windows, walls, curtain walls, right? Just like scanning assignment.
Are we bringing in the UVU NWD file?
Sorry, say again?
Are we bringing the UVU NWD file?
No, you're bringing in the architectural Revit link file. So on Canvas, if you go to files,
yep.
Yeah, you're going to be bringing that. Now, in 2019 Revit, you can bring in an NWD into Revit, but it's kind of a waste of time in my opinion. But just a fun fact. Yeah, just that Revit file. So if you're like this, okay. Now, one thing that I might have done, or I might not have touched on well, we'll kind of touch over this again. But when we lay our view out on a sheet, and you don't actually submit a sheet on this assignment, you just submit a 3D model to me. When you put it on the sheet, it wants to put everything that's in view on that sheet. So if you notice, when we bring in our file, it kind of comes in off center here a little bit, and then here are your elevation views, and it's kind of like 4 dots up here. One thing that I usually do is I either move those elevation views down, and they're just standard elevation views that the software populates. You don't even actually need to use them, or you can delete them or hide them. I usually just hide them, so I'll drag over the top of them, and I'll type in EH. And EH stands for element hide. So that's the same concept as if you were going and right-click, hide it in view. It just gets completely rid of it. Now, if I double-click on my scroll wheel to zoom extent, now it brings it in. And now, the more I clean this up and get rid of my site and all that, when I get out of focus and zoom back in, it'll just film right on my building instead of having some sort of object off in space. Okay, so who remembers on how I need to get rid of the site, background, and all that? What do I need to do?
Is it maybe on like visibility?
Yeah, visibility graphics, but how do I get there?
VG.
Right. Okay, now here's the spot where a lot of you guys got tripped up. So once I go into visibility graphics, I'm given this menu. Where do I go from here? If I'm wanting to hide stuff that's in a linked file.
Revit.
Right? Now if I wanted to hide something that I populated in my model, I would do it in this first model category. Anything else in a link file, we're going to go over to Revit links. Okay, so come in here to links, and what do we do from here? We're just going to go step by step. Yep, I host you, click on it, and then what? Change it to custom. All right, so now within that architectural file, I have the ability to change everything. Well, not change everything, I can't move stuff, but I can move stuff. Okay, so we go by custom, we go to model categories, and change that to custom. Now we come in here and we run through our list. I usually just select all, turn them off, and then go back in and figure out what I need and what I don't. You change it to custom. You click on a host view, there's a little drop down that will tell you custom.
The try EG is not point out.
VG. V is in visibility.
Probably leave it on.
So doors, walls, windows, and then curtain wall systems. So curtain wall mullions, curtain wall panels, curtain wall panels, curtain wall system, curtain wall mullions. And you should be okay. Okay. And that goes away. Yeah. These well. You can, it doesn't, so with the stairs, the only thing is on the stairs, you don't have to keep them because the location of the stairs is still shown. So like right here, you won't actually see the stairs, but really the doors and the intersections that we're looking for are listed. So as far as stairs, we don't really get into them.
So if you go to visibility, then it won't be Revit links.
Yep. Once you go into Revit, and then
What do you want? You just want doors.
doors, walls, windows, curtain wall, panel, curtain wall system, curtain wall mullions. Okay. And then in your guys' past Revit classes, they taught you guys how to make custom components. I'm assuming not. Just brief. Yeah, we're only going to go, I mean, you can like, dive deep into it, but we're going to just go brief. And really, once you make one, you just copy it around and call it good. So.
Just close all those.
Okay, is everybody ready to keep going? Okay. So you got walls, doors, windows, curtain wall panels, curtain wall systems, and curtain wall mullions. The curtain wall is basically window. Sorry. Doors, windows, walls, curtain panels. I mean, really, we're just dealing with interior, so the curtain panels isn't super necessary. It's just so it doesn't show you a gaps in the exterior skin of your walls. I'm not worried about the interior walls right now. Okay. How many of you guys know about display settings in Revit and what they do? Does anybody know? Like fine, medium, coarse? You guys know what those are? What are they, Chago?
Doesn't that just show more detail?
It shows everything in more detail. So one thing that we want to do is, I like walking up on the screen, but down here in the bottom left-hand corner where your scale is, if you change that to fine, it just brings in some more detail, okay? And then the next one, if you come in here, you can go shaded, you can go wireframe, you can go hidden line. Now the reason why I'm showing these to you guys is sometimes if you can't find something, for example, it's usually because those settings aren't shown. So if you draw like a pipe, for example, on coarse display settings, it doesn't show up as a pipe, it just shows up as a really skinny line and they're really hard to find. So for this example, we are just dealing with lines and squares, but if you can't seem to find it, you can play around a little bit with your graphic displays right here, this wireframe hidden line shaded, just to kind of help you find your squares. Okay, they're still talking about groups. Okay, all right, so anybody know how to create a custom component?
Architecture tab.
Okay.
Do you just model in place a component?
Yep. So now, so this menu gets brought up, right? What's the importance of this menu right here?
You're categorizing it.
Yeah, you're categorizing. Why would it be important for me to categorize it though?
So if you make any changes with elements, you don't have a weird wall hanging out on the side of your project like we have right now.
Yeah, I mean that wall's still a wall, but yeah, right idea. And then just like we said in class here, so if you're going through this and you make a custom component you want to give, these are called families. It's called family category. You associate a family to it. So in your visibility graphics, if you hide, let's say walls for example, and you categorize these king studs as walls, you turn that off. Now your king studs are also going to be gone, right? Or for whatever reason, if you categorize it as ceilings and you turn your ceilings off, now your king studs aren't going to be shown. So usually I just throw them in as either a generic component or a wall because usually you always show your walls. But as we go through the semester, you just kind of have to figure it out and do what fits best for you and kind of judge it based on what you're going to turn on and turn off. Now, I'm terrible at this. We do a lot of projects where we have to do a lot of custom modeling components for like proposals, and I just go down the list and I just assign them randomly because I'm not turning anything off. It's more for assigning materials to it than anything. So I'm just going to call this as a wall, and then we just name it, right? We'll just call it king stud. So now, once I type in that family, if you notice my screen went a little bit darker gray and a new menu tool popped up, okay? How many of you guys know what these tools do and are for?
You can create your, if you want to create extrusion, you can create the size and how high.
Yep, they just create objects and you can cut away from those objects, and this is how we build a lot of custom components. It's kind of like if you guys have ever dealt with SolidWorks before. I don't know if you even know what SolidWorks is. It's really a super simplistic version of that. So we're just going to start with an extrusion, okay? And what I want you to do is just out in the middle of a room somewhere, we're just going to draw a square, and we're just going to do a 4x4. So I usually draw the square first. In this case, it's a rectangle, and then I go back in and I put in the dimensions that I want it to be, okay? So we'll say 4x4. Okay. Now, in the tab over here to your left in your properties, you'll notice that it's got an extrusion start and an extrusion end. So right now, my extrusion start is at 0 feet and it ends at 1 foot. That's basically saying I'm going to start at ground level and I'm going to go up a foot. Now, if I change that to start at 5 feet and go up to 6 feet, it'd still only be a foot high structure or foot high object, but it'd start at 5 and go to 6. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say like 11 feet for now, because right now we don't know what the elevation is from floor to floor. If we had the plan, we just flip those open and figure it out, right? But for right now, we're just going to call it 11 feet.
Hey, Austin.
Yeah.
Do you mind going back a little bit? I guess when I went to the component, I got lost where you went and typed in wall.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm on the same page.
Okay, there might be a delay on the Zoom too, so if I'm going too fast.